Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Arshad, and in our last video we covered processes and computations. And in this video we will see how we can perform validations and branching in Oracle Apex. So objectives of this lesson are: we will see creation and usage of validations, and then we will see how we can use branching in Oracle Apex. So basically validations are used to ensure integrity of data. Before we save data in our application or in our database, we must perform validations so that integrity of data will be ensured. So there are two types of validations. First type of validation is item level validations. And the second one is page level validations. Page level validations means page level items validations. So let's learn with examples. So open your Apex. I have installed on my local system. Provide your password. So let's start to create a new page in your application. Create page. We are going to create a blank page, and page name is validations. So here we have a newly created page. Uh, Create a new region, name, under identification is validation, and in validation let's create an item, and under identification name of the item is first name, and then create an other item which is last name. So here we have two text fields. So the first validation which we want to perform is required field validator. So we want to convert first name and last name into required fields. So select first name, go to validation, and here we have value required. So turn on required field validation, and similarly for last name. So both these first name and last name are required fields. So run your application. Password. So here we have first name, and then we have second name. Now we need to add a button as well. So name of the button is save. Run your page again. So let's keep first name and last name empty and press on save. So here you can see we have error. First name must have some value, and similarly last name must have some value. So this is our required field validation. Similarly, you can use, let's suppose I want first name must be maximum length of the first name must be 5 characters. So this will bound input to 5 characters only. So if you want to enter 6 character, it will not type in your first name. So you are bound to enter only 5 characters in first name. So this was our first required field validator. Then we have a second validator. Let's create third page item, which is salary of employee, and here it is number field, not text field. And now we want to add a validation, so it is not a required field validation. So there are two ways to create validation on a item. First way is click on your text field or item, and here we have create validation option. Okay, so make sure your newly created validation is selected and go to properties, and here we have a type. So there are a lot of types here. You can choose according to your requirements. So first one which I want to use is item is not null or zero. It means this text field must contain some value, and that value must not be a zero. If we type zero, it will show an error, or if it is empty, then it also show an error. So here we have a item on which we want to perform this validation, and item is salary. And here we have a error message which we want to show our end user. So here I type salary must be uh, not null or zero. Okay, run your page again, and here I type so first of all click on your save button without providing any value in salary. So here we have first name, so I provide first name, last name, and click on save. So here you can say salary must be not null or zero, because I have not provided any value and salary is right now null. Let's type 0 in salary and click on save. So you have a same error again, but if I type any value other than 0, it will not show you error, so it is working fine. Now our third validation is let's create fourth one page item, which is let's assume it is email. and you want or you want to restrict your user to avoid to avoid to enter spaces in provided email. So here we need to create a validation on this item, which is email. So the other way of creating validation is click on validations and create validation. Okay, and this is uh, give a name to your validation space space validator, and here we have another option which is item contains no spaces. Okay, and here we need to select our email item. Error message is email must not contains spaces. Okay, so run your page and provide salary, and here we need to move our save button below the email. Okay, save, refresh your page, and now provide email with spaces. Okay, now you will get error which is email must not contain spaces. Okay, now if you provide a string without any space, you will not get the error. So now the third one is email validation. So let's uh, go to your application, select your email, and create another validation on this field, and validation, and here we have make sure your newly created validation is selected, and name of this validation is email valid validation. Okay, and here we need to provide type. This time we are going to use item matches regular expression. So here we need to select the item on which we want to perform validation, and here we need to provide email expression. Here I have email expression. Copy this expression, paste it in regular expression, type error, email is not valid, run your page. So type a invalid email, and Marshall for example, click on save. So here we have a error, email is not valid. Now provide at the rate of gmail.com. So right now we don't have any error because this is a valid email. So this was email validation. So let's take explanation of this regular expression. The first part of the regular expression is before at the rate of. Before at the rate of, let me copy this into a new text document. Oh, where is our text document? Oh, it is not showing. Okay, basically the first part of our expression is making sure our email must start with alphabets. And after starting with alphabets, we may contain alphanumeric values in our first part of the email. And the first part of the email is before at the rate of. And we also contains dot as well. And after at the rate of, we have second part of our email address. And second part of the email address can contains alphanumeric values and dot and hyphen as well. And the last part of our email address is after the dot. And after the dot, for example, at the rate of gmail dot, after the dot we may have only characters, and within the curly braces 2 and 4, making sure your characters length must be greater than 2 and less than 4 characters. Okay, so after the regular expression, we move forward and create another validation, which is validation on the date. So let's create another field, which is our date. So let's assume it is hiring date. Hire date. Okay, right click on your selected field, which is hire date, create validation, make sure your newly created validation is selected, name it date validation. And here we have a expression. So in expression you can choose language, SQL or PLSQL. Let's go with SQL. And here we want to validate hire date must be less than the current date. So here we have a function to date, and then we have a field which is P18 hire date, hire date, and then we have less than sales date, which is our current date. Sales date. So run your page. Before you can say all errors must be removed. Okay, here you need to provide error, and error is hire date must be smaller than current date. Run your page. So here we have a date. So select Okay, it is a text field. We need to convert its type from text field to date picker. Run your page again. So here I have a date picker. So select a date greater than current date. Current date is 9. I have selected 10. So click on save. So here you can see we have a error. So change it to 9 and click on save so you don't have any error. One thing which is necessary to tell you is that here we have validation, and in validation we have option display location where you want to display your as error message. Right now I am displaying error messages in line with field and in notifications, but I don't want to show error messages in notifications. Then you need to select inline field. So run your page again. So select a date greater than current date and click on save. So here you can see now we have error messages in line with our text field, but we are not showing error messages in notifications. Okay, so the next topic is branching. Here we have next section, which is branching. So basically, a branch is an instruction to move to a specific page, procedure, or any URL. So let's create our first branch. So go to your application, and let's suppose I want to move when I click on save button, I want to move to my home page. Okay, so click on your save button, and here we don't have option to create branching. Okay, go to your processes, click on after submit, and create a branch. Okay, so here you can see we have a sequence and point at which point this branching will occur: validating, processing, or after submit. So after submit your page, I want to redirect or move to page or URL. You can redirect to UR identified by item, and here we have multiple options. So I am going with page or URL, and then we have a target. Let's suppose I want a target which is a page, and that page exists in our current application, and on which page I want to redirect, that is home page. Okay, and here we can pass values to the home page when we redirect from this current page to the home page. And here we have clear or reset options, but I am not going in details of these two items, these two tabs. Click on OK, and here we have name of this branch is go to home page. Okay, this is name of the branch. Here we have server side condition: when button rest. So you need to select a button on which you want to perform this branching. For example, I want to do branching when I click on save button. So click the button save. Now go to your rendering tab, and here we have a save button. Click on your application run button, leave and provide all the fields and click on save. So when I clicked on save, I am redirected to my home page. So this is all about validations and branching. I hope you learned branching and validations very well in this tutorial. So thank you so much.